It's 3 a.m. You should be asleep. But instead, you're lying there, staring at the ceiling, running disaster scenarios in your head. What if my car breaks down tomorrow? What if my dog needs emergency surgery? What if I lose my job and can't make rent? Your heart's pounding, your brain won't shut up, and the worst part? There's no actual emergency happening right now. You're just broke. And that feeling, that constant low-grade panic, is stealing your life. But here's the thing nobody tells you. The first $10,000 you save doesn't just change your bank account, it rewires your brain. I'm not talking about getting rich, I'm talking about something way more powerful. So stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why that number, $10,000, is the single most important financial milestone of your life, and it has almost nothing to do with the money itself. Let's talk about what's actually happening inside your body when you're broke. There's this hormone called cortisol. It's your body's alarm system. When you're in danger, like a bear is chasing you, cortisol floods your system. Your heart races, your muscles tense, you're in full fight or flight mode. Now, here's the problem. Your brain can't tell the difference between a bear and a bank account with $47 in it. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, your cortisol levels are constantly elevated. You're walking around in a permanent state of low-level panic. And that's not just uncomfortable, it's exhausting. It makes you irritable, it ruins your sleep, it destroys your ability to think clearly. But the moment you hit that $10,000 mark, everything shifts. Let me give you an example. Imagine your check engine light comes on. Version A broke you. Full panic mode. Oh my God, how much is this going to cost? Can I even afford this? Do I put it on the credit card? Do I skip paying my electric bill this month? What do I do? Version B, you with $10K in the bank. That's annoying. I'll call the mechanic tomorrow. Same problem, completely different nervous system response. That's the cortisol shift, and it changes everything. Here's what's wild. Most people think the point of saving $10,000 is so you can spend it, but that's not it at all. The real power of that $10,000 is that you probably won't touch it. Its value isn't in the spending, it's in the knowing. Knowing it's there gives you something most people never have. Walking away power. Let me explain. When you're broke, you're desperate, and desperate people make terrible decisions. You stay in toxic jobs because you can't afford to quit. You accept low-ball salary offers because you need the money right now. You tolerate disrespect from bosses, landlords, clients, because what choice do you have? But the second you have $10,000 sitting in your account, you walk into that salary negotiation differently. You're not begging, you're negotiating from a position of strength, because in the back of your mind, you know, I could walk away from this and I'd be fine for a few months. You don't say it out loud, but they can feel it, and that confidence, it's worth way more than $10,000. That's the emergency fund effect. It's not about the money, it's about the power the money gives you. Okay. Let's talk about something nobody warns you about. Decision fatigue. You know why broke people are so exhausted all the time? It's not just the lack of money, it's the mental load. Every single day, you're making 50 micro calculations. Can I afford the name brand pasta, or do I need to get the generic version? Should I buy the good toilet paper or save $2 and get the sandpaper version? Do I get gas now, or can I stretch it until payday? Each decision feels small, but by the end of the day, your brain is fried. You've used up all your mental energy on tiny, meaningless choices. And when it's time to make the big decisions, the ones that could actually change your life, you've got nothing left. But here's what happens when you have $10,000 in the bank. 90% of those decisions disappear. You don't stand in the grocery store doing mental math. You just buy the pasta. You get the gas. You replace the shoes when they wear out, not 6 months after your feet hurt. And suddenly, you've got all this mental space freed up. Space for creativity, for ambition,
for thinking about the future instead of just surviving today. That's the real gift. You're not just saving money, you're saving brain power. All right, here's the hard truth. Most people never hit that first $10,000, not because they can't, but because they're approaching it all wrong. They treat saving money like a crash diet. You know the type. Starting Monday, I'm only eating salad and going to the gym twice a day. And then by Thursday, they're face down in a pizza, feeling like a failure. Saving money works the same way. People say, okay, I'm going to save $500 this month. And then they starve themselves. No coffee, no fun, no life. And by week 3, they crack. They blow it all on something stupid because they've been white-knuckling it the whole time. Here's what actually works. You need an identity shift. You can't just act like a saver. You need to become one. Think about it. People who stay fit don't go on diets. They just are healthy people. It's part of who they are. They don't have to force it. Same with money. The first $10,000 isn't about willpower. It's about changing how you see yourself. You stop being someone who spends money. You start being someone who keeps it. And once that shift happens, everything gets easier. You're not depriving yourself. You're just being you. Look, I know $10,000 sounds impossible right now. If you're starting from zero, it feels like climbing Everest in flip-flops. But here's the secret that every successful saver knows. You don't have to start big. You just have to start. The people who make it to $10,000, most of them didn't start with saving $1,000 a month. They started with $25 or $50. Some even started with $10. But they were consistent, and consistency beats intensity every time. Because here's the thing, that first $1,000 feels incredible. It's proof that you can do this, and that feeling, it's addictive. Suddenly, you're not just saving to survive, you're saving because it feels good. Because every dollar in that account is a little piece of freedom, a little less cortisol, a little more walking away power. And before you know it, you're at $2,000, then $5,000, then boom, $10,000. And when you get there, you'll realize this isn't about the money. It never was. It's about becoming the kind of person who has $10,000, the kind of person who sleeps through the night, who doesn't panic at 3 a.m., who walks into rooms with their head up, knowing they've got options. So start small. Start today. Not next week, not after the holidays. Today. Because the first $10,000 you save won't just change your bank account. It'll change you. All right, that's it for today. If this resonated with you, do me a favor and hit that like button and drop a comment. Tell me, what's your current savings goal? Where are you on the journey? Thanks for watching. Now go build your snowball.